Hey y'all, my name is Sean, and welcome to Direct Action Gaming. The Direct Action Gaming channel nailed it. It's been quite some time since I uploaded anything to this channel, so I thought it was well past time to do some sort of an update video. So that's what I'm going to do for y'all now. Just a nice little update to say hi and let y'all know what I've been up to and what I plan to do with this channel. Because yes, this channel still exists and I'm still gonna definitely be doing things with it. If anything, I've decided to just devote my life to not just this channel, but this pursuit of artsy gaming storytelling type stuff, right? This is just what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, and I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. So without further ado, yes, I have this little outline here for this little video to try and keep me somewhat on track. And one of the first things that I wanted to mention before I get into anything else is there's a lot of inspiration that I get from other YouTubers, of course, when it comes to producing. Some people don't like calling it content, but producing videos for this platform or just making things, right? A lot of them talk shop sometimes. A lot of them talk about what it's like. And there was one that I saw not too long ago, and I'm going to try to just confine it to like the one thing that this lady said that really inspired me. Without having to like talk an awful lot about who she is and her channel and blah 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 blah. Because the one thing that really stuck with me was this in this video that she did, where the title was just "Do It Anyway." It was a kind of like inspirational type video about doing stuff is hard, but you should just do it anyway, right? And tying it back to like YouTube, which she is a YouTuber, she said something along the lines of it's important to post things confidently, with confidence. I guess I'm paraphrasing here. I can't remember exactly how she put it, but post confidently as if someone was watching, even if no one is watching. And that really stuck with me, I guess, because like it really encapsulates, I think, my experience with YouTube so far, right? Like, when you get started, especially when you get started and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, which is me. I kind of don't know what I'm doing. That there's a lot of things that I've learned along the way with this channel that I've been doing for really only like half a year now or so. And I'm sure there are many, many more things that I will learn along the way. But definitely when it comes to this phrase, yeah, like when you start out and you have no prior experience with any of this kind of stuff, like media production, just anything that you're trying to do, right? It's all going to be, haphazard, half-assed, slapdash type of stuff. You're not gonna know how to make the sort of reach like Mr. Beast does or something like that. And I don't want to have like a channel like Mr. Beast does anyway. But I mean, the point is like, not that it matters all that much, but I think like I haven't even looked at my analytics in like a long time. I had 40 subscribers tops for the most part, and I think some of my most watched videos only got up to like a couple hundred something views. So I didn't make that much of an impact, and it's really not all that surprising, right? Because I'm only just starting, and sure, I put some videos up there. I put up what I would like to think a decent amount of videos, but again, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I still need to find my audience, I suppose, and I just need to keep at it, and yada yada yada. Like, I just wanted to say that like I'm mentioning all this because this is this is how I'm going to be trying to approach this channel going forward, is I'm going to post confidently as if someone were watching. It's very possible that like almost no one sees my videos right now, but in the future, maybe some of my videos that don't initially get watched will pick up and will make some steam and yada yada yada. And I mean, I kind of think like the point should never be like, oh no, I must please the algorithm. Like, no. Because I don't want to rant about this too much, but mainly I want to call myself not a YouTuber, not a content creator, not an influencer. I'd prefer to call myself an artist, which some people might think is pretentious or something, and I don't care. I think that this is art, because I've heard people say that art is just, when it comes down to it, art is just expression. You are expressing yourself in a way to through some sort of medium to try and convey meaning to your audience, right? Art can be anything. Art could be banana that you duct tape to a wall, right? And what I'm doing here on this channel, to start with at least anyway, I'm painting up lots of minis. I'm playing lots of board games. That's where we're going to start. You might be able to see my board game collection on the shelf behind me there, and you know, all the minis that I got on the workbench there that I'm working on. Anyway, next point is that yes, I've been away for so long for life reasons, but when I got back to work on the channel, one of the first things I kind of thought of is, all right, well, let's take something of a hiatus and just paint a lot of stuff. Because one thing I was running into with the first major series that I was kind of trying to do there, Zombicide, was there was a lot of stuff that I hadn't painted yet that I wanted to include in future games, but it was not painted yet. And I guess I'm one of those people that like just, at this point, I just can't play with games with miniatures that like aren't painted. Like having fully painted miniatures just adds they don't just look good, they add to like the sort of immersion as you play the game, right? And it's just fun. It's painting is just fun. And it ties into what I was saying a little bit earlier. It is art in a sense, right? I am painting things. And I do plan to upload all of the things that I paint. And that brings me to my next point, that the overall goal going forward, I think, is I'm going to try to simplify things an awful lot as I'm just starting out, and I still have little to no audience. I want to dial things back a bit. When I started, I think I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I was trying to treat this channel like it was a serious, real big YouTube thing or something, right? I tried mimicking all the big YouTubers and putting all kinds of things in there, like even a link to an Amazon wish list or something like that, which I'm taking that down. Like I want to simplify things a great deal. I want to only have to focus on 3 things, if that, to start with. Mostly like YouTube, obviously. This is a YouTube channel. I'm uploading things to YouTube. I'm also going to be, I have created a Blue Sky account for the channel. So I think instead of Instagram, I'm going to be using Blue Sky as a way to like make external updates outside of YouTube and just sort of like communicate with other creators and fans and, you know, what have you. I would prefer to use Blue Sky. I think it may be a new platform, but I would prefer to use that to Meta and just obviously Twitter I don't like those. I know those are the big ones that all the super professional big people go on and whatnot. I won't get into why I don't like those. I just don't. So I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use Blue Sky. So we're going to focus mostly on YouTube, Blue Sky, and eventually Discord. I already do post on Discord for this channel. I've got a direct action gaming like Discord account. It's just not tied to like a server yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm posting on other Discords mainly to like, get eyeballs on the stuff that I'm doing, which, like I said, I've been doing a lot of painting. I almost have Modern Zombicide completely finished. And I have started working on some other things, and that dovetails into my next point, actually. The other thing I've done is Fallout the board game. Let me get this. Can you see that? Here we go. Fallout the board game. That is a thing. I got this idea for Fallout while I was trying to finish all the Zombicide stuff. I'm like, man, this is taking a while, and I should be putting something up so I can say, yeah, I'm actually working on my YouTube channel. I'm not just painting stuff and showing people the stuff I paint. I need to be making videos. So Fallout is a thing that I had for a while. I had gotten it a while ago, and there's only 5 models for it. There are models here. Let me get one of them real quick. Ooh, should have had this ready to go, right? Right. So here's the Brotherhood Outcast. What's kind of neat about this Fallout game, and I did post like a picture of all of them on my Blue Sky account that I will be linking to this channel. So there's just going to be 3 links from now on going forward. Well, 2. Right. There's Blue Sky. Oh, how did I forget? Ko-fi. Ko-fi is the other platform that I'm going to be focusing on. Let me just mention that real quick. These videos going forward are mostly funded and sponsored by me and nobody else. I am the guy, the one-man show. I'm doing all of this, right? So if anyone likes my work and would like to support it, I do have a Ko-fi account that has existed for, most of this channel's history, right? And I think that as far as like donation and other platforms and whatnot, I just need to focus on Blue Sky and Ko-fi other than uploading to YouTube. I'm going to be uploading my entire gallery of just all the things that I do paint up to like my Ko-fi account. So you don't even technically need to give me any money when you click on the little Ko-fi link. You could just, look at all the stuff that I painted if for some reason you wanted to do that. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I put up on there. So eventually I'm sure someday somebody's going to want to look at it. Right. But for now, that's what we're doing. Eventually, Discord server. I would like to do a Discord server, and I do think when it comes to the Discord server, I'm going to need to paygate that, and/or like I'm going to try to connect it to my Ko-fi in a sense where, or just my YouTube channel, because I know there's a way to become a member on the YouTube channel eventually at some point. But patrons will be able to go to this Discord server, and I kind of think it'll be a neat way to not just like talk to fans that like the stuff that I'm doing whenever I do have fans, right? But I kind of had an idea for that would be a place to upload just all kinds of stuff, not just like pictures of things that I'm painting and talking to fans and whatnot. Maybe short stories too. Like I kind of want to write like short stories for like the games that I'm playing to sort of like expound a bit on the characters that I'm playing as, because I would like to like make unique characters for some of these games at some point, and like have something of a lore going as a way to practice for the game that I would like to eventually make. And yes, that is definitely something I'm still going to do. It's something that I will do. I would like to at some point crowdfund maybe a game that I would like to make. I might as well just say it's based on a story that I would still like to write, that for the moment the working title is called the Great Journey. And in a nutshell, it's kind of like it's yet another like zombie type thing. So it's been inspired not just by Zombicide, but also by oh no, how could I not remember it? Project Zomboid. I did write short stories once upon a time for some of my Zomboid characters, and that's kind of where a lot of this comes from. Was I really got deep into Zomboid, and I wrote some short stories for some of those characters. I fleshed them out, and it was just awesome. And I did show them to some people, and they seemed to like it. So I want to do more of that. I want to expound upon that, and eventually make my own sort of like zombie apocalypse survival type game that might be tied into like books and or graphic novels that I also make, just have like my own little universe of characters. And I guess I'm going to try to, since the zombie genre is so thoroughly overcrowded, I want to try to make my own little spin on it by saying it's like a hopeful kind of journey that these people are going on, right? That like the main character is going to be like this sociology major, right? Like she's one of these people that wants to make the world a better place. And I think it would just be interesting to have like a zombie story where instead of just focusing on surviving, you have people that are like trying to rebuild, but not rebuild by just making the society that we have now all over again, if you know what I mean, right? They want to try to make something better. They want to try to make something where people care about each other, where people take care of each other, where it's people first, and yada yada yada. I better stop now. Getting into that too much. Fallout the board game, we will be focusing on that. I'm going to be tomorrow actually uploading my first gaming session in quite some time. I'm gonna start with one of the first scenarios. It's entitled The Commonwealth. I'm going to put that up tomorrow. Fallout can be played solo, which is another reason why I selected it too. I'd like to focus on solo games, solo board games for this channel, because it's just, that would be the easiest thing for me to do, to just make stuff in this apartment here without needing other people to like show up. Not that I won't do sessions with friends and family perhaps maybe, but solo is probably the best way to go to just crank out a bunch of stuff, right? So Fallout in the meantime while I am working on other things in the background. And that dovetails into the next point, which is next project is this, actually, City of the Great Machine. So while I am working on Zombicide, I am also going to be working on that. I'm going to try to get all of that stuff done. There's really only like 12 something models left for Zombicide, and then there's going to be 20 something models that I need to paint for City of the Great Machine. But suffice it to say, City of the Great Machine is yet another game that can be played solo, and it's just a really neat game that I got a while ago. I have played it quite a few times, unlike with Fallout. I really haven't played Fallout like a full game just yet. I'm going to do a test game today, mess around with it so that, the first time I play it on this channel, I won't be a complete noob. But when it comes to City of the Great Machine, I have messed with it more than a few times. It is a dope game. I love it. It's a very niche sort of thing. If I had to describe it, I'd say it's sort of like poker combined with chess in a way. It's this steampunk type of setting where you have some revolutionaries that are trying to save humanity, more or less, from this great machine that is basically Skynet, and it's gonna like take over, this alternate steampunk universe, more or less. So the revolutionaries are trying to stop that, and that is City of the Great Machine in a nutshell. I'm gonna paint those models up next, because there's only 20 something of them, so I want to finish that to have yet another game that I can feature on this channel. So for a while, I guess we're going to be doing Fallout. I will continue with Zombicide 2nd Edition once I have those other 12 models finished. Boom, I will continue with that series as well. City of the Great Machine, once I have those models painted up. And then I guess the only other thing to talk about, that I have on my outline, at least anyway, is this. I may have mentioned this before on this channel, but here we go. I've made my own sort of haphazard rulebook for Grimdark Future. If you've never heard of Grimdark Future before, it is one of, I think, 6-ish games by this little-known company called One Page Rules. And I want to gush about this game and One Page Rules for a little while before we wrap up. Basically, I used to be into 40K, like, big time when I was a kid. And not all that long ago, I learned about One Page Rules and 3D printing, and how I could probably eventually utilize both of these things to get back into wargaming without having to pay like the massive amount of money that it would cost to like get back into something like 40K. Like many people, I did not know that other war games existed outside of like Games Workshop, right? I've heard people say that a lot of people get their start there when it comes to wargaming. They hear about Games Workshop, they hear about Warhammer 40K. It's a big thing. It's been around for a long time. But I just can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't do Warhammer 40K. I can't do Games Workshop. Not just because right now money's kind of tight, but also I do not like their business practices, and I know I'm not alone. There are plenty of other people that are very critical of Games Workshop and the way that they are doing business, with the sort of stranglehold that they have over like the wargaming market and whatnot. But long story short, I have decided to get all into One Page Rules. One Page Rules is just dope. In a nutshell, I've already kind of described what they're about, right? Like they kind of, it's an interesting story. They started as just one man who wanted to play with his old Warhammer 40,000 models. He just wanted to play the game again, and he, much like me, he was frustrated with the cost and how ridiculously complex the rules were now, and how many things he was going to have to buy, and on and on and on. And he said, you know what, how about I just create like a small double-sided page PDF file that all the core rules will just fit on. Just one double-sided page. So technically 2 pages, right, if we're counting, but still, that's not many pages for some core rules. And actually I've gone through this. Now this is basically like the core rules plus like just a whole bunch of like advanced rules and just all kinds of other additional stuff that you never really need to include unless you absolutely want to, right? So like the core rules are just really simple, really straightforward, very accessible. You can use any models that you want to like play the game. You can use anything for terrain. Like, I mean, this is kind of like wargaming in a nutshell, but it's always been in a sense. But Games Workshop has taken it to another level where they want you to stay in their little, sandbox and buy all of their ridiculously overpriced things. Although I am old enough that I remember how things used to be with Games Workshop, and they were the ones that said back then, hey, if you just have a Coke can or a pile of books or something like that, that could be terrain. You could use anything for terrain and yada yada yada. But that's what OPR is doing now, not Games Workshop. So yeah, I already do have some terrain. I do have some models. I do have 2 very basic armies planned out. The Blood Brothers and what they call the infected colonies, which is basically like space zombies. So I'm thinking about doing 2 very small, what I call trial armies for them, and getting some terrain together and some bigger tables to have like an actual big wargaming table to put a lot of stuff on. I'm eventually going to get some more terrain and yada 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 and get into some other war games and blah blah blah. But for now, we're going to try to keep it simple. We're just going to start with Grimdark Future, OPR, 2 little trial armies, and once I'm finished with those, I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna move to their Age of Fantasy game next. I do have some old Warhammer Fantasy models that I can put together, some orcs and some Empire. So Human Empire and Orc Marauders, or just orcs, the orc tribes, I should say. Orc Marauders are actually from the Grimdark sci-fi future type thing, right? So. Yeah, and this is just like there are a lot, by the way, a lot of other games and a lot of other things that I want to do that I have in my head somewhere. But for now, these are the projects that are immediately in front of me that I have planned, and I'm just gonna sort of add to that stuff as I complete things. So. Yeah, as I said, right now, working on finishing Zombicide and City of the Great Machine models, and you can expect more content, or I should say, gaming sessions. I'm going to call them gaming sessions, not content, because that's basically what it's going to be, right? Like, if y'all have seen some of my previous stuff, it's not going to change all that much. It's just going to be me in my little apartment here on that little table behind me, and maybe I'll upgrade this setup at some point and have, like, more scenery and whatnot on those shelves behind me and some bigger tables and more stuff. And, oh, by the way, right behind me, you can see that big old O. I finally do have my better camera stand with a big O-ring light that will go around the camera. So Lighting will not be as much of an issue, and nor will the shaky camera that you may see in some of my older videos. I really wanted to get that thing before I put up another gaming session, and it's not that thing was really hard to get or very expensive, right? If I'm honest, I've been putting off like uploading content for this channel for some time now, because there's always something that I wanted to require of myself before I uploaded a new video. Like I wanted to get better at editing. I wanted to get better at painting. I wanted to have all sorts of things painted and blah 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 blah. But back to that one phrase. Post with confidence as if someone is watching, even if nobody is, right? And here's another one for you, actually. It's better to have a library full of 8s than a head full of 10s, right? Point is, sometimes, yeah, just do it. Just upload some stuff. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done. That's what I'm trying to tell myself nowadays, at least anyway. I just got to get some stuff out there, and I will get better at this as I go along. And yeah, there's your update. Tomorrow, Fallout updates on Blue Sky. On YouTube, I'll be doing the shorts thing when I finish a little painting project like I was doing beforehand. And eventually, some magical day, Discord, complete painted gallery on my Ko-fi. If anyone would like to donate, yes, you can go to my Ko-fi. I don't expect any donations anytime soon. That's it. I'm going to just leave it like that. And we will upload something tomorrow. I'm going to see y'all then. Take care of each other, y'all.